Turn the camera off. I wonder, can I broadcast this to my page as well?
Yeah, you go on my page, you can share it.
Okay.
Yeah,
And I can do it while it's happening too, right?
Yeah, yep. Because
Okay.
I'm sharing right now, on some pages, and
Oh yeah, I see it right here.
okay.
So 2 shares. Let me see.
All right. Let me start the intro, and then intro is about a minute, and then we're gonna come on.
What kind of food do you eat? You say soul food? Was that the food of African people? Slave food. The food that we find most satisfying. The food that we find sticks to our ribs. The food that we call down home. A food that we learned in the quarters. And yet we dare say that we escaped slavery. We have nothing to do with those people back there. That was back there. When our whole very social relationship, our very definition of ourselves as people, our very attempt to commune with ourselves is mediated by slaves. We have not escaped at all. But it is time for us to change the slave consciousness.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I'd like to welcome everybody that's watching. Tawana, Chetta, Latanya, Wisdom Share. Thank you. I appreciate that title, but I take it humbly. This morning, as we talk health and wellness, on Saturdays, I think y'all know, this is Plant-Based Power, and of course we are talking about a plant-based lifestyle. And this Saturday, I want to introduce everybody to somebody that he's doing great work, and he has great products in this time of COVID-19. And we're talking about building our immune system and having a healthy lifestyle and coming out of this situation, better people, and better people in our health. I'd like to welcome a brother's doing great work, Jeff Austin, aka Plant-Based Jeff. And welcome, brother. Welcome to Health and Wellness Saturdays, man.
Okay, I appreciate you. I appreciate you having me on. Can you hear me okay? I just hooked up my microphone.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. So I just hooked up my microphone. Yeah, I'm Plant-Based Jeff. A little bit about me as far as my background. Mississippi native. I currently reside in Atlanta right now. I've been going on this plant-based journey. It's going on 5 years now. What kind of got me into it was I was plagued by a series of illnesses from acid reflux to anxiety, restless leg syndrome, high blood pressure. I had a whole laundry list of things that I was going through. So, I started to study and find out. I was like, man, something has to give. Like life can't be like this. I can't be on these pills for the rest of my life. So I started to explore some. I started off with Dr. Sebi, exploring some of his methods and stuff. And my family, we actually tried the alkaline vegan diet. We actually tried it, and it did work. I won't lie. You will lose the weight. You can do it with plant-based as well. But with the alkaline vegan, I was specifically targeting the different medicines that I was on, like a few antidepressants and stuff. Some of the hard stuff that they say, hey, you can never get off of. So I wanted to go and attack those. And the only way I could do that was to have a more alkaline system and, remove all the acid. I stopped smoking. I stopped drinking. And I just started taking in plants and alkaline plants and stuff and lost the weight. And once I did it, I was like, man, I got to share this with my people. Yeah. I'm from Mississippi, so it's kind of commonplace for bad diets and whatnot. So I wanted to change the narrative on that. I was like, it doesn't have to be like that, but sometimes you got to go down the road by yourself and get the information, because it was a lonely road. It was, it was me and my lady. So, it was stuff that we couldn't do. We couldn't, certain restaurants, and it impacted us socially, but we had the bigger vision in mind. We were like, okay, once we turn this corner and people see, then they'll follow. Like, it's kind of like the Jerry Maguire, like build it first. Like I had to build it. I had to build the lifestyle out. It wasn't cool at the time. People thought I was crazy. They were looking at me. They were like, man, you losing all this weight. They were like, man, what, are you on something? I'm like, no, man. I'm like, this is natural. I'm like, I'm consuming real food now. Now, the stuff that I was doing before was not natural.
Right.
So I started to learn and, got with other holistic teachers. And I just really studied this lifestyle from, podcasts, whatever I can get my hands on. Dr. Africa. Whatever I can get my hands on, I soaked it in and I tuned out the world during that time, because people don't realize everything is a part of your diet. What you see on your timeline, that's what they call it, a feed. It's feeding you, So I turned down the feed and I said, I'm gonna feed myself the stuff that I need to help me and my people out. Because the only thing I kept in mind was my why was my family, like my mother, my father, my son, everybody. That was my why. I was like, I gotta show them, like we don't have to go through high blood pressure and diabetes. We don't have to go through that. That's not passed down. Those eating habits are passed down generation to generation. And I said it stops here. I said it stops here, and I'm committed to devoting my life to it. And that's where I am now, because right now it's a lifestyle change. I didn't do it. It's not like a keto fad. I didn't do it for 6 weeks. I didn't do it for 6 weeks and say, hey, let me lose the weight, and now I've lost the weight and let me go back to McDonald's. Like haven't turned back. I haven't turned back, and I love it. And it literally rewired me. Like, people don't understand with gut health, what you eat, you literally are what you eat. A lot of people aren't crazy. They're chemically imbalanced.
Exactly.
You're eating too many Popeyes chicken sandwiches. You're drinking too many sodas. If you turn around and look at those labels and read those labels, it has more chemicals than you can't even pronounce them. I tell people, why would you put something in your body that you can't pronounce?
Exactly.
That's my philosophy.
Jeff, let me ask you a question.
Go ahead, brother.
Now we're with this COVID-19 situation,
right? Mm-hmm.
And then you hear on the news, right? Then all of a sudden, boom, Black people are affected more, and then the United States Surgeon General says, well, because it's Black people's lifestyles, right? Because we have the chronic conditions,
right? Already,
but then you still see, even after that, you still see us still trying to hang on to that type of food that we know is causing these conditions. What do you say about the mental psyche of our people to hold on to a culture that is actually, you from Mississippi, I'm from New York, but we both had the same health conditions,
right?
Because we both eating the same type of food,
right?
Exactly. But we are holding on to these to these bad habits, even having the knowledge, that
we know better.
exactly.
Yeah, it's popular.
How do we break that cycle? Like,
I feel like it's so deeply ingrained in us that we may not be able to turn over everybody, but we're gonna reach some. You know,
Right.
Like I said, it's a numbers game. I ain't got to get everybody because some people are just set in their ways. Some people have the knowledge, have the illnesses, have the medication, and they're okay with it. And I can't argue with you at that point. Like I
Right.
saw a guy at the gas station. I was running to get something, and he was like in a little wheelchair or something. And I can tell he probably had some other health conditions, but the stuff he was buying more cigarettes and all this other stuff. I'm like, brother, like, we got to stop it somewhere. I think it's so deeply ingrained in our society. And like I said, it's our feed. Those companies target us. KFC is coming for us. They got a sandwich now with the donuts. Have you seen that? With 2 donuts on top of some chicken. Now, if that's not targeted towards us, I don't know what is.
Exactly.
Like, how do you sell us 2 donuts on some fried chicken? You can only sell it to us.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I guarantee you they're not doing that in Lower Manhattan and these other areas where you at or up in Buckhead. I mean, they don't even have those restaurants. You gotta look at it's so deep as to where places where stuff is. Like Whole Foods, every store, they search out the demographics first before they build there. Like Walmart knows their area. They know middle class, like, hey, we're gonna plant ourselves right here. Right. Whole Foods know, and Sprouts and these other holistic places, they know, hey, we're gonna go to the affluent areas.
Right.
Right. And I think it's so deeply ingrained. It's gonna take more people like yourself, myself, and we got to keep hammering home all of this. But I think the best thing out of COVID-19 was a wake-up call. You know what I'm saying? Mental conditioning. Yep, that's correct. On mental conditioning. Yeah. Exactly. I think COVID-19 is gonna wake up a lot. Like I got so many people from Mississippi buying stuff now, and they're enrolling in my courses, and it's a blessing. I'm not looking at the numbers from a monetary standpoint. I'm looking at how many people I'm impacting, and that's what I'm set. I'm working in alignment. I don't chase the money. Once you're in alignment, you start to track.
Well, and that's right. Once you're in alignment, all that other stuff comes anyway.
It's effortlessly, like the way stuff is coming to me with opportunity from my business. I mean, it's almost like a switch cut on, and it's like I'm just attracting. I'm getting the resources I need.
That's right.
I'm getting the right connections I need because I got my intention set, and I know my desire. My desire is for good.
Right.
Because that's all I'm trying to do. I'm not, like I said, my monthly goals are set on people that I impact. Now, the money that I get as a result of that is just a result on how many people. But my first goal in mind is say, hey, this month I want to impact 1,000 people. I want to add value to 1,000 people in some sort of way, whether it's my education, whether it's my products, whether it's services.
Right.
I want to impact because it works. I got so many people, some of the toughest dudes. Hey, they don't fool with meat no more. It's like I'm really influencing, and it's a good influence. I got a lot of people coming off meat. I got a lot of people coming off sodas. I got a lot of people doing smoothies, and my lifestyle, I just put it out there. And it's ingrained. And so the feed that I'm giving them is a good feed.
Exactly.
And we got to keep at it. It's a never ending fight. It's like cops and robbers. Like you'll never get rid of the police force. You'll never get rid of the robbers and the criminals. So it's always hand in hand. So it's a fight that I'm willing to fight to the very end. I'm committed to it. I'm committed to helping our people. I'm committed to it. I wake up to this stuff. I wake up to this. I go to sleep with this. People asking me questions. I answer questions as much as possible. but just putting it out there, man, as much as possible. But it's definitely a mindset. You know, we got to start, and more of my content now is not so, hey, let me show you. I want to show people how to make smoothies. I want to show people cooking techniques, but I'm going after the mindset.
Exactly.
I'm going because I went through a lot of personal development. I've gone to courses. I've been to the Tony Robbins and the Bob Proctors. I know about all that, you know what I'm saying, as far as personal development and discipline and habits. I read the books, you know, and I read our books too. I read my history books on Africa and stuff, but I know that part too.
Exactly.
Because a lot of those techniques, all of that 48 laws of power, all of that stuff, they using that on us. So I had to go and get it. So I go to conferences. I'm reading a book every week. You know, I maximize that because I know other people not picking it up, but they can get it from me. They may not ever pick up a book. They may not even order a book, but some of the principles, I can drop some nuggets on them and they can say, you know what? I'm gonna use that what Plant-Based Jeff said. So that's where I'm after now. My campaign is after the mindset, because if we can get your mind right, because that's how they got us with slavery. They let us free and still had our minds chained up.
Exactly.
So it's powerful. You know, it's so powerful with that, the mental anguish that we went through. It's still lasting. You know, we still got psychological issues in our community. It's because of the stuff that we saw, it's the stuff that we ate, it was the stuff that was done to us, it was the stories that have been passed on. It's the current things that are going on now in the news.
Exactly.
With brothers being gunned down in the back. Like, you know, and we have to protect our psyches too. Like when people posting those videos, I don't want to see the video, you know, rest in peace but I don't need to see that, you know.
Right.
You know, that's for the DAs and everybody, the prosecutors and the jurors. But we're putting so much into our psyche now. What we see, Alton Sterling, we see murder on Instagram.
Exactly.
And then we turn around and watch murder on TV, and people don't know, the subconscious don't know the difference. You know, whether you're watching Power or if you're watching a real gun down murder, we are becoming desensitized to all of this crap. So in order to do that, I don't take it in. You know, I want to hear the news stories. Go ahead.
That's part of your diet. Like you don't understand. Like what we see and what we hear,
right,
is part of our diet also. You know,
it is.
You know, when we were slaves, they fed us fear when they whipped the male slave in front of the female and the children, and they killed them and they hung them. That was feeding fear into our psyche. And they're doing the same thing to us now through our music and through videos. You know, I'm in law enforcement. You know, that's how I pay the bills. And we speak out against police brutality. But sometimes, man, that feeds into our psyche. That feeds into our diet, man. So you have to eat right, you know, to deal with that stress of just living, right? Just stress being a Black man and woman. You know, we have to balance it out, and it's our food,
right?
You know, and we're failing, man. You know, and I want to thank you, brother, and I'm gonna read some of the comments. Kevin Powell says, "Thank you, Jeff. I'm a vegan, plant-based as well."
Okay, all right.
Latanya says, do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by renewing of your mind. Romans 12:2. Chris Lattimore says, peace, brother Kev. Peace, love you, King. Maybe talking to Kevin Powell. Oh, they today having a conversation with each other, man, on the
Oh, okay. Oh, and for the website, oh yeah, it's plant-based. Jeff.
Yeah. I put it up there, man. Brother Kevin Powell wanted the website.
I was saying it was you had left the L out. I don't want to throw them off.
Yeah, man. Oh, okay. It's, yeah, plant people with an L, my brother. I'm sorry. I'm trying
yeah.
and hold the conversation. Uncle Frank, I see you, man. Welcome, Uncle Frank. Let's talk about brother. How did you decide to transform your living and your lifestyle into a business, into a business?
Well, really, man, it was kind of like I started off with the lifestyle, and then I started sharing it on social media. And then the feedback that I got from people were like, dude, we need this. Like, I don't know how to make a smoothie. I don't even know what to eat. And I got all of this information and stuff. And what I ended up doing was creating the online course, because what happened was I got so many people coming at me, I couldn't service them like I wanted to. Like my phone still blows up every day. Like right now, I'm in the process now of getting actually 2 virtual assistants, because it's grown so tremendously. And even once things and people always, I keep hearing, hey, when things get back to normal, I'm like, it's a new normal. I'm like, we may be wearing these masks to the end of the year. You know what I'm saying? And then people not even talking about the second wave that they're predicting that's supposed to be even 3-4 times harder than this first COVID wave, combined with flu season and pneumonia. So I started doing what I was doing. Like I said, it was the feedback, it was the people. And people were like, man, we need this. And I used to talk about CMOS all the time. And people were like, where can you get it from? And the suppliers, they couldn't keep it because they were a lot of small time. So they were ordering, 1 or 2 pounds at a time. And when I came in, I was like, hey, I need 100, because I got that many people. I saw the vision before it even happened. So I started just getting so much CMOS, and I knew how to make the gel. And when I started showing people how to make the gel, they were like, hey, how do you do this? And I was like, I need to create a course. So I created the course to help people with everything from doing the CMOS, how to read labels, everything. But also I do give good value adding content, even if they don't consume the course or purchase the course. I still get tips on my page every day. That's my commitment, to give some type of value to the people on a daily basis.
That's great. No, that's great. That's how you got to do it, man. Now let's talk about, man. You sell some great CMOS, man. Let's talk about because a while with this, you've been doing it before the COVID-19.
Oh yeah. I was doing this when it wasn't cool,
Exactly.
5 years ago. I've been in this game. I've been ingrained in this. And a lot of people are hopping off the porch just because they see, it's a fad, and everybody, hey, can you sell me CMOS? I'm like, man, I got to service my customers. Like, I got people, like, you see me with 50 pounds, that ain't just to show off. They're saying, hey, in 2 weeks, that needs to be serviced. I need to service my people in every kind of way. So like I said, I've been ingrained in this lifestyle. COVID just made it cool, COVID, people started to pay attention,
Exactly.
We'll never be the same again. This is similar to just any kind of incident in history where we're never the same again.
No. It's right. But and you're right. And I was watching MSNBC today, and like everybody's talking about going back to work, and and one guy was like, the reason why the stock market is rising because they're realizing that they don't need all these people that they had.
Right.
So it's going to be a new normal on how we work. It's going to be a new normal on how we live our lives. It's going to be a new normal in how we socialize with each other.
Right.
And we have to have that new normal in our health,
Right.
Because if we're going to, if they're predicting something worse, in October or November, man, if we still doing the same,
we got to get ready. This is a war, and I don't go deep into the whole, conspiracy theories and stuff. And I know it's a lot of stuff out there targeted towards us. And, we've been through so much from the Tuskegee experiment, all sorts of things that we've been through. So we already got our predisposition about, trusting government in everything they do, but we got to get ready. We can't wait on them. We can't even depend on a vaccine. We got to get our immune systems together right now, because this is a war. And a lot of people may think it's intentional and it's targeted towards Black people. But we got to learn that we're in a war, and we already shooting and cutting our own feet off before we even hop in the war. With our lifestyle. We got to get ready. We can't depend on vaccines. We got to start eating right. We got to start doing stuff right now without waiting on permission and then waiting for something to happen, and then we're caught with our pants down. So we can't move like that. We gotta move in just like a war. I think this is more of a financial thing more than anything, Exactly. I hear the conspiracy. I don't think they're trying to do population control or none of that. I think they're trying to balance things out.
Right.
And they're about to really, and it's really targeted towards lower middle class and middle class, and creating a greater divide. Because you got all kind of stuff coming up. Like you said, you got truck drivers. They going to automated trucks. Think about all those people that are about to be out of work. It's about in the next coming few years, you got to do something digital or something online in some type of capacity. Because all of that hard work and all that stuff. Now, you may still have general laborers for construction, all that stuff. But even when I went to Walmart the other day, they got the little machine in there cleaning the floors. I don't know, have you seen it before? But it's a machine that's in there cleaning the floors, and it can sense when it's close to people. And I'm like, it's getting real. It's real. Like, if you don't get into this automation and to online in some type of capacity, you go get left behind. And that's another thing we got to start tackling. People got to have an online presence. I see a lot of people making moves. DM me, cash out me. No, get you a website. It's time to get real. It's time to get real. Y'all playing. And that's my advantage over a lot of CMOS sellers. And that's why I do the numbers that I do, because I'm official. I didn't come to play with this. I came to present a quality experience, around the corner. And I was doing that at first. I was meeting people and all kind of stuff. And every blue moon, I like just to get out with the people. But with COVID and safety concerns, I'm not really concerned about being around people. I tell people, if Rona is anywhere, it's in Walmart and these places you eat every day with all these people. That's where it's at. It's in the hospital. That's where it is. It's in the hospital, Walmart, Home Depot, all of these crowded places. Somebody in there got some symptoms of asymptomatic and running a fever or something. They ain't telling nobody. And you're around them, but that's why you got to have your system together so you can combat that. You got to have your white blood cells working for you. They got to, because what happens when that virus hit, those white blood cells attaches themselves to the virus and they start working on them. So that's your defense. But you can't have a defense when you're drinking, smoking, eating the wrong food, because it's taxing your body. If I'm drinking too much alcohol, it's taxing my liver. Now my boys that went around there to fight for the liver, and Corona then came in through the front door. You can't fight them all. You know what I'm saying? That's really what it is. Your body's getting jumped.
Exactly.
Your body's getting jumped, and if you ain't got yourself together, they go get the best of you. And that's how the best way I can explain it. If you're doing all this drinking, smoking, processed foods, not getting enough rest, not getting outside. Like, I don't understand how we are people that we are tropical people. We got melanin in our skin, and we got people that don't even want to go outside. Women don't want to trying to be in the shade all day. You need that vitamin D.
Exactly.
We got a whole different defense than other races. This skin right here, man, we some magical beings, and people got to wake up and realize that we need that sun. We need nature. We are tropical people. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's what we are.
That's right. And we need to eat from the ground, eat from the Mother Earth, man.
Yeah, real food.
Yeah,
I tell people all the time, what I said, how many ingredients does your food have? When I eat avocado ain't nothing but avocado. You know what I'm saying? When I eat kale, it ain't nothing but kale. And that's how I teach people to read labels. Even if you buy something in the store, how many ingredients are you working with? And can you pronounce those ingredients?
Exactly.
You know, I'm looking for real food, millets, lentils. You know, I'm looking for real stuff when I read labels. And I teach people how to do that in my course as well. But we got to pay attention to what we eating.
Is that
more right there? Like, I can't, how you go fight and you got Popeye's chicken all in your system? You know, you got your chemically imbalanced. That's why you see people on these videos trying to kill each other. It ain't because of and we love to say this in our culture. Oh, it's the principle. It's the matter of the principle. It ain't the principle. You chemically imbalanced and you snapping, and that's what's happening because of what you putting in. You watching these videos online, then you turn around and eating the garbage, and then as soon as somebody sets you off, you ready to kill them because it's over the principle. But the principle, the fact is, you're not eating right, you chemically imbalanced, and you tripping. That's all it is.
Exactly. And they wonder why. And parents, a lot of parents wonder why their kids are diagnosed with ADD. A lot of it is the food that you're putting in these kids. You're feeding them the wrong food.
Right.
And also, study shows that children who grow up eating a plant-based diet have a higher IQ. So I mean, it's so many benefits, you know, to eating a plant-based diet and leaving meat alone. Look, I mean, you know, I tell people, look what God's doing, man. He put COVID in all the meat plants. Now you shouldn't eat no meat because
they forcing you into the lifestyle now. If you weren't a vegan or vegetarian before, you about to be one now pretty soon. I'm telling you.
Exactly.
I'm telling you. Because all that stuff that's in that meat, you know, is still cancer in meat. You know, it's studies that show that all the time. They just cut the cancer off. You cutting a piece of the cancer, but that cancer is ingrained in that, meat, you know. And I'm not knocking our meat eaters because how I explain is like at least reduce it. Like when I bring people into my course, I tell them, hey, either this is partial or you going all the way. But even if you just do without meat 3 times out the week, or you do 3 days without processed foods, you're doing better than you were.
Oh my God, you're saving, you know, you're adding, just doing that, you're adding your life. Just doing meat once a week or twice a week, you're adding years to your life. Just cutting back on meat like that. And people understand it. You know, let's talk about the protein myth. You know, the whole thing about this saying, well, if I don't eat meat, I can't have I'm not getting enough protein.
Man, I love that. I love to hear that battle. We can go all day with that. We can spar in the ring all day. First off, most of the people complaining about protein don't even work out. Let's be honest. They ain't got one muscle in their body. They got muscles, but they ain't got no definition or, you know, 75% of the complaints are coming from people who don't work out. You concerned about protein and a physique, and you ain't even got yourself together. That's like you complaining about a car, talking about, well, you know, it ain't got the rims I want. Well, you can't even afford the car first.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You complaining about something. That protein, man, you can get protein from the plants. That's where it comes from.
Exactly.
The protein you eating is secondhand. When you eating the cow, you eating the grass that he ate and all of that other stuff. Look at an 800-pound gorilla.
That's right.
That's a vegan. He eating berries and twigs and would tear you apart.
Exactly.
So people don't understand, like you putting all this meat in, you thinking you getting protein. You can get protein from legumes, from beans, chickpeas, man, certain greens, brown rice, quinoa. Man, the list is infinite. And that's what I teach in my course too. And I get tips too. I drop tips every day, like avocado. That's a good fat. But if got
That's
protein,
right.
all of that stuff. So there are plenty other options besides meat to get your protein. And even if people watch the Netflix special, Game Changers, that whole movie documentary is dedicated to its athletes.
That's right.
So if you don't get it by then, so I'm in the position now where I just refer people. Like I give them my piece of what you call, but I say, hey, go watch this.
Right.
Go check out this podcast and let's come back and talk. Because a lot of people like to talk without doing research.
Exactly.
That's not me. Like,
No.
I don't talk on anything that if I don't know about it, hey, I would tell you I don't know about it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And it's also how do I was watching Dr. Sebi and he made an excellent point. How do a live body get nutrition from something that's dead?
Right.
And
something dead and cooked.
Exactly.
And another thing with all of this dead flesh too, people don't realize is it messes with your vibrational frequency too. Greens and seaweed and raw greens and fruits are at the top of the food chain as far as vibrational frequency for food. And that's all we are. We just energy beings. People don't realize we are just energy beings. If you put us under the microscope, you'll see a bunch of waves, just moving. So when you eat that dead flesh and stuff, that's at the bottom of and it has no nutritional or vibrational frequency value to you. So that's why a lot of people are dumbed down really by what they eat. You ain't thinking, you're sluggish. I've been there. You can't even process stuff right when you eating too much processed food. You're eating all the meat and prepared meat products and stuff. You can't even vibrate like you need to vibrate.
Right. Exactly.
A lot of people are low vibration, and when you eating low vibrational food, and then you listening to a bunch of mess, and I don't knock music and stuff. I love music, but it's a time and a place for it all, and you got to monitor your consumption. Right. And if you're listening to that all day, you listening to low vibrational music, low vibrational food, and I guarantee you, I can tell you what type of person I'm dealing with based on what they eat and what they listen to. I can tell you, I can sum them up and be like, okay, I bet you they XYZ because it's just a pattern.
Right.
It's just a pattern.
Right.
But protein, you can go to Chipotle all day. Tell them to double up on the pinto and the black beans. That's what I do when I go to Chipotle. Hey, let me get half black bean because that's my protein. I know what I'm eating.
It's that, and that's true too. Like when I went plant-based, and my wife still wanted to go out, because she still eats fish. She's cut back a lot of the meat,
right?
But she still eat fish. I don't eat fish. Like some people say they're vegan or vegetarian and they still eat fish, but that's on their own. But it was a learning curve for me, an adjustment for me, because we would go out to a restaurant and then with the waiter, I had to create something.
Yeah.
Can I get some steamed vegetables, some sauteed spinach,
right.
I had to be creative. Exactly. So, like a lot of people think you still can't go out and you still can't, have a social life.
You still get out there, man.
Plant-based.
That was me and my lady, man. When we first came into it, it was difficult at first. Like you said, we started to go out, and once we started to talk to the waiters and the cooks and stuff, they would start to customize stuff for us. I would run into somebody, the cook would be in the back and be like, hey, brother, don't eat that. It got butter in it, but I can do it without it for you. You know what I'm saying? And they would come back, and I would meet waiters that were vegan. I would meet the cooks, and it was like an instant connection. They were like, brother, I'm looking out for you, but all you got to do is let us know,
exactly.
And it depends on who back there too.
Right. If you got a real cook, if you go to a real restaurant,
you got to be real.
with a legit cook. He
Right.
knows how to cook vegan and vegetarian.
Right.
He knows how to cook plant-based because
Yeah.
because he can't. Ain't no need to be a cook in no real restaurant, and you can't diversify yourself.
Right.
Cooks know how to cook that stuff if they're asked to do it. And that's what I tell people. I mean, you could go to a good restaurant. I'm not talking. I'm just not talking about the mom and pop restaurant. When you go to some restaurants, and then some of those restaurants too are be able to do it. But when you taking your lady out, or you're a woman and you going out with your husband, and y'all go to these restaurants that y'all like to spend money on, that cook know how to cook it. You just got to
know how to do it.
Right. You just got to talk to the waiter.
Yeah. And if they don't, you may not need to eat at the establishment. I got some places where people are not knowledgeable. If the cook can't tell me, if the waitress can't tell me, I've asked them, like that's why I stick to a lot of plant-based. I'm fortunate to be here in Atlanta, so we got a lot of options down here.
Oh, absolutely.
Vegan and plant-based and black owned too, which is off the chain. So we kind of spoiled in that regard. But at the same time, when I go to other places, the waiter, they lost, the hostess lost, and the person back there, because some of that stuff, they getting it prepackaged. They getting it from Cisco and all these other food places. They don't know what's in it. I'm like, hey, what's in the food? And I challenge some restaurants, and if they can't stand up to it, I'm out. Nothing against them. Hey, I appreciate you bringing the waters with lime out. I appreciate it, but we out, because you can't tell me what you about to feed me. That's why we have to know how to prepare our own food. We need to go back to growing our own food. That's right. We got to go a few layers down. Like, not just, oh yeah, I know what to eat and I know what to cook, but how do I grow my okra? How can I grow my own collard greens? How can I grow my bell peppers and my onions and my own mushrooms and make my own stir fry with stuff that came out my backyard or from a local farm or neighborhood farm? I know in Atlanta, they're doing that more now, where they have the neighborhood gardens and stuff. And you can go by and pick up stuff. And they also allocated about 6 or 7 acres where supposedly, I don't know, it probably got pushed back. It was supposed to open up this year, where you can just go and just pick free fruits and vegetables. Like they just go grow. It's gonna be like a city farm. Wow! And you just go out there and, hey, if you see 3 cucumbers, you get 3 cucumbers, and you're out. But I don't know how that's gonna work out, especially with COVID. So I'm pretty sure those plans probably got moved around. But I would love to see that. I would love to see that in cities across.
Oh yeah, well,
America, right?
We're talking about working, in the cities. They call them community gardens, and we're trying to work on that, and we also, hopefully, after the COVID thing, we're gonna try to build some type of network with the Black farmers, man, and how we create commerce, and move some of their fruits and vegetables and bring them up to the city and help them out and help them too. So, I'll keep you in the loop with that too, Jeff, because we're trying to do a lot of good things, man, and trying to educate people on the importance of living a good plant-based lifestyle. And you can do it, and you know what? And you can do it and be cool. A lot of cats think, you can't be cool at it.
Man, I make it cool. If you see some of my videos, man, I make it a big deal when I'm eating plant-based food. Even if I'm eating damn mushrooms and some kale, you go think I'm eating a piece of steak. The way I spin it around, because I know this is life food. This is real food, So we got a few. Do we got any questions down there?
Yeah. So Jeff Johnson said, "What about the seasoning in the restaurant?"
Yeah, you got to tell them to hold back, because they go come with the normal. They go come with the normal seasoning, because I've been to vegan restaurants where they just lay it out. I'm like, you done just destroyed my whole intent, with all this sodium. So you got to be mindful of that too. You got to let them know, And if they can't do that, you may not need to eat there, or just tell them, hey, don't put any seasoning on it, because what I normally eat is just a little bit of sea salt and cayenne pepper. That's all I do.
Man,
You know, I don't get real into the lard. I don't need that
Okay.
seasoning. So I don't need all that extra stuff.
that
And
kind
before I tell
of
people you grew up on that stuff, aren't you tired of that stuff by now? You've been eating 2 pieces of chicken and the same 2 sides for 40 years. You know, you ought to want to opt for something new for the next 40 to
exactly,
get you through, you know, so you
exactly.
can keep yourself out the nursing homes. That's my whole thing. Keep you out the nursing home so you can take care of yourself and you can be still a pillar of health for your family and be that model. You could be that 75-year-old that the kids look up to. Look at
Exactly.
granddad still running marathons, and you can do that on a plant-based diet. If you stick with
You know what?
the lifestyle, you
That's
can
what
do that.
that's what turned me to a plant-based diet. I was my mother's caregiver for about 3 years,
Okay.
and I watched her health deteriorate
Mm.
while doctors was just giving her medication
Right.
and not telling her, you know, that she could reverse it by just changing her diet, right? So then I noticed I was on the same I was starting to get on the same medications that my mother was on.
Yeah.
You know, and then, you know, the diabetes, they amputated her leg and you know, she had to go into one of them caregiver homes, and they don't do right, and she got another infection and they had to cut some more, and you know, and she was already 83.
Right.
So that last operation took everything out of her. She couldn't recover, you know, because her system was already that weak. So that last operation took it out. But it gave me a lesson that, number one, I had to change my diet. I had to change the way I eat.
Right.
Number two is that we should not put our family members. I don't want to put my children or my wife through that. You know, you do it out of love, right? But if you take care of yourself,
right,
you don't have to put other people through that stress, and you don't have to, like, you know, seeing my mother in the nursing home, and we and look at all this COVID in the nursing homes. They don't take care. If you're not there every day, if you're not going there, and for the people that's watching, you know, if you got a family member in a nursing home, you better be there every day.
Right.
You better show your face every day, and you better regulate for that day. Because if you don't,
you got to.
You don't know what's going on. It's been many times I cussed those nurses out on that floor because they don't. If they feel that they don't have support system, they're not going to care about them, man.
Right.
You know, and then they feed them the food that causes the illness.
Yeah. I've been in nursing home. I've done volunteer work, and I'm like, you giving these people smothered chicken, onions, and you know, it smells good. You know, it smells good. But they need to be in those nursing homes and hospitals. They need to start implementing more plant-based.
Let me tell you something.
Because that'll heal the people so much faster. You giving these older people more inflammation to deal with. They got a lot of, when you see these older people with the swollen ankles and stuff, all of that is years and years of chicken.
Exactly.
And salt and sodium. All of that is a buildup. And most people don't even know how to detox. Some people go their whole life and never detox, never fast. And I'm big on that. I'm big at flushing your system out.
Exactly.
Fast. And like right now, I've worked out and everything, and it's not even noon yet. The only thing I had was a banana and some lime water. You know, I worked out everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but we got to do better on that front. Like hospital nurses, they need to revamp that whole healthcare system.
I plan to attack that. I plan to attack that because
we have to.
Because you can't tell me that you want me to get better in this institution, and you're feeding me dairy that's going to cause mucus. You're feeding me all this stuff that's going to put mucus in my body.
Right.
But then you're feeding me medication. That it doesn't work like that. You got to feed them the food that's going to heal. But we also know hospitals are institution and it's big business. We know
Right.
it's big business to give medication. These doctors will throw medication down. You know, my doctor. Let me tell you something, man. I went to my doc. I said, "Yo, what's my numbers, doc?" And I had a little pad, and he looked at me like I was insane. Like, Negro, what you need these numbers for?
Right,
I said,
right.
I need to know my numbers, you know, because I need to track
You
my
have
health.
to take control of your health because they won't do it.
Exactly.
You got to be the CEO of your body and your health, not those doctors. And I'm not knocking the doctors because we need the doctors because we need them to run lab tests and blood work. And in some cases, we need medicine in extreme cases. If I'm about to die and I need a EpiPen or whatever that thing to bring me back, you need medications in some cases.
Right.
But a lot of stuff is preventive, and a lot of stuff doctors don't even know. A lot of doctors don't know nutrition. They're not trained in that area. Western medicine is not, you know, and in Georgia, I think they can't even speak on dietary recommendations like doctors. Like you have to have like a nutrition or a registered dietitian or somebody present to speak on that.
Really?
So they always creating more loops for you to jump through.
Exactly.
But a lot of Western doctors, I got a lot of doctors I sell CMOS to, nurses too. They know better.
Exactly.
They know better. You know, they woke. And some of them, despite everything, they still slip in advice. They were like, hey, I know, hey, I'm still letting people know, you know.
We got a question. Which plant-based food can help with alleviating allergies?
It depends on what type of allergies. Hold up, while we going forward, let me make sure I plug up this laptop. I just got notification of a low battery, so we want to make sure we keep rolling.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. It depends on what type of allergies. If we're talking about like pollen and all of that stuff, you got to cut out the inflammatory foods. You got to cut out the breads. I'm telling you, the same recommendation is pretty much the same for everything. Like people come to me with lupus, with leukemia, with cancer, everything, and it's not like I'm trying to put everybody in a bubble, but at the end of the day, most of the recommendation is to change your diet.
It just go straight plant-based.
Yeah. But then you got to get more knowledge as to the right foods, you know, because it's one thing to switch, but I don't want you to switch and just be eating lettuce and French fries. You know, you got to get technical. You know, people be like, oh, I'm just eating fruits and vegetables. But you eating, you know, stuff out of can and all of that. You need raw stuff. So I would suggest to the brother with the allergies, and I got this on my page too, but more fruits and vegetables in the morning, that'll help alleviate. Local honey, that would help alleviate allergies. Doing a nasal flush with a neti pot. During this time, especially in Georgia, where everything is covered, man, I have to do a flush probably once or twice a week where I just get that neti pot and just flush that pollen out. A lot of times with allergies, people just have a lot of because you're breathing in the pollen. And the whole purpose of the hairs in your nose is to protect you. So what happens is it's not letting it go all the way, so it's catching it. And that's where you're getting the irritation from. Those little hairs are saying, hey, pollen, you can't go all the way up here. So we're going to hold you right here. So until you blow your nose or until you rinse that out, it's going to still be there. But eating the right foods too. Eating the right foods. Like stay away from the bread, the pastas, and all of this stuff that's already adding inflammation to your sinuses. Because a lot of people, they think it's just the allergies, and I'm like, no, it's just what you eating. It's like you eating a bunch of crap that's adding to it. You eating a lot of mucus forming acidic foods.
Exactly.
So cut back on the acidic foods. Cut back on the processed foods. Lay off the meat some. Definitely cut back on dairy. Like eliminate dairy. You know, you don't see. I've never seen a human sucking on a cow's breast. You know what I'm saying, and vice versa.
Exactly.
So go to some nut milks, you know, almond milk, hemp milk, that type of deal. Drink plenty of water. A lot of people don't know how important water is. Like we're made mostly up of water, and we don't get enough of it.
Exactly.
A lot of the problems could be solved with water. I mean, a lot of constipation issues. It's just water. You know, you're drinking a bunch of sodas, and now people they on this whole kombucha, you know, on that phase. I'm like, your body makes its own probiotics when you eat the right foods.
Exactly.
All that stuff is just a sales gimmick. You don't really need that stuff. Women like, well, I need the right probiotics for my, you know, my health. I'm like, no, you need the right foods that will produce the right probiotics.
Exactly. Before we close out, man, and it was a good show, man, and I thank you, man. Let's talk about your product. You know, I got up on the screen the Jamaican Premium Gold Sea Moss Gel with the bladder whack. Just talk. Oh, go ahead. Oh, okay.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. Let's just talk about your product, man, and you know, we got to plug the product.
Right.
For everybody, you know, talk about the sea moss, you know, talk about the benefits.
Yeah. So this right here that you have pictured is our this is our number one seller with it, which is our Jamaican Premium Gold Sea Moss Gel. So what we do is we get our sea moss from a few local families down in Jamaica. So we know where it's sourced. Right. And it's ethically sourced and sustainable because they're not just pulling everything out. You got to leave some out there to, you know, to help the ecosystem. Right. So we take the sea moss and we actually make a gel. If you go to my website to plantbasedjeff.com, I do a lot of education. If you go to my FAQ page, I got about 40 questions. So everything you want to know, I guarantee you, I've heard it all. We've sold thousands. So I hear everything. I see every email that comes through about questions. So I put together something where it could be a self-help guide where they can just read and say, I got it. And also we have educational videos that teach you how to make it, how to take it, and all of that. But with this right here that you have with the bladder wrack and the sea moss gel, it has 92 minerals. The bladder wrack adds a few more minerals to it. It has the shelf life of about 4 weeks. We infuse it with alkaline water and key limes. Key limes has a natural citric acid in it, so it's a natural preservative. So it helps it to last longer. And also it helps to last while in shipping too, in transit. Okay. And we have a specific, and you received one, cold packing method. How we pack it. We got commercial grade thermal packaging and the gel packs. So we don't deal with the cheap stuff. Like a lot of people don't know, we put so much into the packaging, into the jars. You know, we had to go through 7 sets of jars before we found one that can uphold itself in transit. So it's a lot of work that a lot of people don't know that's behind the scene, but we do this to bring it to the people for people who don't want to make sea moss. But sea moss is good for in conjunction with a good plant-based diet. And I'm one of the few sea moss sellers that push diet. A lot of people just sell sea moss because it's hot right now. If you got some sea moss right now, I mean, you can have the crappy kind and you can sell it. Like it's like that. But I educate people on both sides because I tell them your diet is your pilot. Your sea moss is your co-pilot. You know, this is a superfood. You know what I'm saying? This is just something you're incorporating. And with the gel, like I said, we take the sea moss and it's a process of soaking, cleaning. You got to get the seashells off. Like this is work. Like when you see that final product, that's some work that was put into to make that. We take that, clean it off, soak it, rinse it off, do all of that, and then we put it in the blender, infuse it with key limes, and then you get your gel. But you can also consume it in capsule form. We have the capsules available. We have the raw sea moss for people who want to do it themselves. And we also have videos that teach you how to do it yourself.
Oh,
So a
okay.
lot of people, we got both people on both sides of the spectrum. We got a gang of people that make the sea moss gel, and we got a gang of people that like to do it themselves.
Mhm.
Let me show you my partner. Come on, Tar. This is my partner in crime, my lovely queen right here, Natara. So she now she's the mastermind. Now she's the real mastermind behind this thing. I'm gonna let you know right now.
Hey, that's right.
And
That's
I'm just the face talking head. But she actually came up with how to formulate how to really scale this thing, because the way I was doing it, I was making sea moss just all kind of wrong, but she came through with her magic skills, and now we got a system in place. Like Natara knows how to tell you exactly how much water you need, how much sea moss you need.
Right.
She came up with systems. She's also responsible and head of our fulfillment and operations. We went over all the benefits. We went over all that. So this is, without her, it would be no me. So I have to give her credit.
That's
I'm
right.
so thankful for. Like I said, she is clean. When I tell you, this lady and knows how to cook too. So she prepared all of our plant-based meals. Like
That's right.
she's one, because I just threw away the food. We got a young son in the house, and we forgot about him. We threw away all the chicken and stuff, and we had to get stuff and say, but he does do plant-based though. He does plant-based, Ralph. And he also has improved his grades with sea moss and whatnot.
That's
but
right.
She came up with the system.
That's beautiful.
Tara actually went and got consulting from some of the top cold packing facilities in the country, because we wanted to know how to do this thing right. So with her help, we're expanding.
That's beautiful.
Family members that are helping out now, but we even getting more people with virtual assistants and also physical people on hand. But we just have to be careful right now with COVID. So
exactly.
Everybody around this stuff, because when we present it, we know we good. So we have to be cautious of that.
Exactly.
In addition to the capsules, you got the dry sea moss that they can do. We got the powder form too. So even, some people like to open the capsules up and pour them in there, but we got the straight up powder too.
Okay.
So it's a host of benefits. We've lost weight from it. We have energy. Like I said, we go long days, long nights working. Some nights it's me and her in that kitchen, to 3 a.m. because we got to get orders out,
Right.
So it's a lot of benefits to it. Energy, it'll help curb your appetite. It can help with a lot of things, but a lot comes from your diet. Like we emphasize that. So we're going to start doing more videos, me and her, where I do a little smoothie show now where I show people how to make smoothies. But we're going to also do it. Let me make sure you're still in the front. We're going to do it where we just show people how to prep some easy meals, like with quinoa and stuff. Because she can throw down before. So like I said, going back to what you said, when you a cook, all you got to do is remove the meat and get creative. And that's what she did. And she started to come up with all kind of like chickpea curries and a lot of Jamaican infused type foods. I mean, like we eat good over here thanks to her. I wouldn't eat if it wasn't up to her. I promise you, I'll be doing this. She just went and got me this. I would eat this every day, Smoothie King. And I'm just a man, you know what I'm saying? I'm a man, so but
exactly.
And we gotta remember that our women, whether I live or die depends on her. Either she can put me in the grave early, or she can keep me out extinct. You know what I'm saying? So women are the matriarch, and they have to run the household. They control the food supply. So we're gonna start rolling out programs where she's gonna be reaching out to wives and mothers. And she's going to have a coaching program where we can get these women together so they can help feed the household. Because a lot of women just go to McDonald's every day.
Exactly.
That's all they do, and we need more women to be knowledgeable about foods. So like I said, we got simple recipes and stuff like that, but we want to go even deeper because it starts right here.
That's right.
And like you said, that woman can heal that household. Women are natural nurturers and healers, and we have to protect them. And we have to give them, we got to give them their praise. It's Mother's Day weekend, and I'm so grateful for her. I'm so grateful for her. I'm grateful for my mother. I'm grateful for her mother for even instilling stuff in her, because she has a good mother that has put stuff in her that has passed down to her as well. So we got to be cautious of them. We got to make sure we take care of our queens, so our queens can take care of the household. Because she's running this show. Like I said, like people don't know. Like I'm just a talking head,
Exactly.
She back there whipping it up, and and saying, hey, she help me with my interviews, my commercials. Hey, Jeff, don't say that. Jeff, do that. Hey, and so we need that. We need more couples. We need more plant-based couples.
That's right.
That we can show family life. Like this is right here.
Exactly.
Because when you got that synergy, we got new rules. She implemented. No cell phones at the table. We all eat together. That's a part of healing. Yes. We all talk. Put them phones up.
That's right.
So, we got stuff that we've implemented in place. But like I said, that CMOS, I'm telling you, if you couple that with that plant-based diet, you'll be okay. You'll be okay with the right mindset. Get some good positive stuff. Don't look at COVID-19 stuff all day. And don't look at all these murder cases all day long. Like, let the DAs and the people do their work and protect your psyche. Be knowledgeable of it. Because even if you don't have social media, you go hear about it. That's why I tell people, you don't have to worry about looking for news. It's gonna find you.
Exactly. Exactly.
So, but yeah.
When y'all ready to talk about cooking,
right.
You are welcome back to Health and Wellness Saturdays, man. I thank you, brother. I appreciate it for you to take this time out on a Saturday and talk about your product and talk about your experience of being a plant-based lifestyle and your family, man. And that's a beautiful thing. And you're always welcome back to the show. If you got something new, if you got something you want to talk about, man, I'm just a text away, brother, and just let me know and we'll set up and bring you back on to talk about it, man. I appreciate it. And plantbasedpower.org is official, supporter of Plant-Based Jeff. So it's a beautiful thing, man. And we thank you. And we thank you for the work that you do.
And I appreciate the work that you're doing for the community, and Damon. I appreciate you reaching out. I appreciate it, man. And we need more of this because we on the front line. I like to refer to us as wellness warriors.
Exactly, brother.
Continue to do that. And if you need me, I'm just a call away. Plantbasedjeff.com. So they can find us there, and we appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you, man. And have a blessed day. Take care.
All right. All right. Bye-bye. How do I do this?
What kind of food do you eat? You say soul food? What's like the food of African people? Slave food.